Hey everyone, it's Carole from Yellow Cardinal Tarot, and before we dive in, I just want to let you know that I have a special offer for you at the end of this video, so make sure you stay around till the end. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, I think you know that Yellow Cardinal Tarot is all about healing, and in particular, it's about healing your own shadow. So this is a channel about your own healing journey, about deep shadow work, about self-awareness, transformation, something that I've been personally doing intensively since 2017. But you know, many of us fear our own shadow. I mean, I know I did it myself. I ran for years from my own complex trauma that was buried deep in my unconscious. Every single memory from my childhood was repressed. So it wasn't until 2017 that I found my own trauma coach. And with her, I began intensive parts therapy. And at that time, I also began for about 2.5 years some energy work. And I had that consistently every second week. And it was mostly craniosacral therapy. And I think it was around that time where I started to really appreciate how much body work or energy work can add to your own therapy that you're doing. And so I sort of was pulled into the direction of becoming a healer, which is, you know, partly why I started Yellow Cardinal Tarot, because that is a form of healing for sure. And I started to take craniosacral courses myself, and I took Reiki courses and myofascial release courses. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I still had a lot of healing to do myself. And so here's the thing about shadow work is that many of us fear our own shadow. And, you know, like I said, I was no different because we don't know what lives in our shadow because it lives in the unconscious. So we don't know what's there until we start to unpack it. Because inside our shadow are memories, trauma, big emotions that are associated with that. And also there's gifts that are buried underneath all that trauma and all those memories and all those big emotions and the pain that we need to feel to heal. So we often forget that as children or adolescents, we had gifts and we may not even remember what they are right now. But once we start to unpack a lot of this, our shadow, and start to heal a lot of these memories and peel away the layers, we start to discover that there were gifts that we put away when we were younger. A lot of us were told that we weren't good enough or we weren't smart enough. We couldn't do certain things. We shouldn't do certain things. And so we learned to repress these and put them away and forget about them. My trauma coach always told me that I had gifts that were buried. I mean, it wasn't something that she could predict what I had, but she would always tell me, you have gifts under there. And so maybe that's what kept me going. And that, you know, I didn't give up because I had so much trauma. But for a long time, I didn't believe my trauma coach. I didn't believe that I was worthy enough to have these gifts. I didn't think that this would ever happen to me. And then there was a certain point in my healing journey because, you know, after you do this stuff, healing for a long time, you just kind of get fed up and it's like, I want my gifts now. But it's never up to us to decide when these gifts are going to come. You know, the universe has its own timing. We have to be ready for our gifts, and that readiness will come through our healing. And so today what I want to do in this video is to share my two beautiful gifts with you that have come through with my own healing journey. And as you know, I just was describing my tarot, and so Yellow Cardinal Tarot was my first gift that came through for me. So I was called to read tarot a few years back, and I was struggling with the meanings of the cards. And at one point, it just came to me one day to start to use my own parts therapy and apply my parts to some of my cards. And I think that's what just got everything going for me. And I actually put out this video how I became a tarot reader, and I think it was probably one of the first videos I put out at the beginning of this channel. And I'll link that in the description box below. And so the second gift that's come out this year for me, and I have not mentioned it on my channel yet, and really this is the reason for making this video, is to let you know that I have been given the gift of shamanism. I am now a shamanic healer. So again, this was not something that I planned or even knew anything about, but it was very deep in my shadow, along with a lot of trauma that was centered around it. And I was eventually led to the Foundation of Shamanic Studies, and I took their introductory course and also their 2-week intensive course in person. And so it was through both of those experiences that I rediscovered my connection to the rattle. And with my rattle, I come alive. And again, it's not something I ever knew, but through my memories, I discovered that it was something that I used to connect when I was younger with my helping spirits at the time. So as a child, I used the rattle instinctively to call in my helping spirits until it was taken away from me, and I was told to never take it out again, and to the point that I was threatened. And so I had to work through that trauma. So here's the point in all of this, is that shadow work definitely has its dark side, but it also has a very bright light side to it, because there's hidden gifts that are hidden underneath all of our pain, all of our memories, and all of our trauma. And so one of the most important things I've learned on my own healing journey is that healing can come to us through many different paths, many different healing modalities. And so I wanted to extend an invitation to you to allow me to introduce you to shamanism or shamanic healing. Some of you may have never even considered it before. Some of you may have never had a shamanic healing before. And I'd love to be the one to introduce it to you. And if you have had it before, I'd be honored to hold space for you as I provide another healing for you. Now, for a limited time, what I've decided to do, and because you are my subscribers, and if you've stayed around this long on this video, I want to offer you a discount on your first healing session with me. Now, normally a 60 to 90 minute session costs 130 Canadian. That includes taxes. And I'm offering it to you for $100. And if you're American, that's an amazing deal because of the exchange. And before I work with anyone, I always offer a free 15-minute consultation. And what we do in that consultation is it gives me a chance to talk to you, and you get to ask any questions you want. You also get to tell me, a couple areas of your life, your healing journey, or what's going on with you, what's going on with your body, what you're working through, and what you want healing with. And then what I do is I take your information that you give me, and I will go back to my helping and compassionate spirits, and I will give them exactly what you told me. And it's up to my spirits to decide what sort of healing is going to take place with you. I don't decide. The healing comes through me, but it's my spirits that are doing the healing. So if any of this resonates with you, I'll leave a link below, and it will take you to Red Snake Medicine, which is a page on my Carole Care's website. There's a lot of information on there about shamanism, and also a little bit more about me and the work that I do. And you'll find there's a button there to book your free consultation if this feels right for you. And then after our consultation, it's totally up to you whether or not you want to continue. There's absolutely no pressure here. But if anything, what I would love to do is just to sort of open up your eyes to another form of healing for you. So until next time, I want you to remember to have compassion for yourself, and especially, with what you're working through right now. The healing journey is by far the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. So I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay grounded, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.